Parents, what secret have you kept from your kids that would crush them? When my daughter's goldfish died, I didn't have the heart to tell her. She was only 5 and deeply attached to Bubbles, so I did what any reasonable parent would do. I replaced it with an identical fish from PetSmart. The problem started when this became a pattern. Goldfish don't live long, especially when a kindergartner is in charge of feeding them. Every month or so, I'd make a secret trip to replace poor Bubbles. By the time she turned 8, Bubbles had been secretly replaced 17 times. I kept a tally on my phone. Each fish cost $3.99, so I was essentially running a $67.83 goldfish funeral service. My wife thought I was insane. Just tell her the truth, she'd say, but I was too deep in the conspiracy. I had spreadsheets tracking markings and size to ensure consistency. Things got complicated when my daughter started noticing differences. Bubbles looks bigger today, she'd say. I'd mumble something about fish being mysterious creatures that change with the moon phases. The deception required increasingly elaborate explanations. When Bubbles hash 14 was more orange than gold, I claimed it was due to a special vitamin in the new fish food. Then came science class, 3rd grade biology. They learned about goldfish lifespans, typically 5-10 years. My daughter came home with questions. Dad, if Bubbles is 4 years old, why isn't he bigger? I claimed he had a rare growth condition. And why doesn't he recognize me like Mrs. Pearson says goldfish should? I told her Bubbles had fish dementia. Last week she caught me. I was switching Bubbles hash 23 for the recently deceased hash 22 when she walked in. She stood there, staring at the 2 identical goldfish. One floating, one swimming. Her face crumpled. You've been lying to me, she whispered. I prepared for tears, for accusations, for childhood trauma. Instead, she looked me straight in the eye and said, "That's okay. I've been flushing your expensive whiskey and refilling it with the cheap stuff for 2 years."